2 weeks in California. When I was a sophomore in college, I worked on campus, about 45 hours away from where my owl's house was. Every weekend I would drive to my owl's house to do laundry. One night, I went to my owl's house. I went in the laundry room with my whale full of dirty clothes. No one was home, so I put my whale down in the laundry room. The movement in the house got particularly out of control. Suddenly I heard a thud coming from the outside. Something was hitting against the window. Finally, around 4:20 a.m. my owl smashes the window and yells at me for wasting electricity. I never told my owl about it until about 4 months later. When my owl came in from the northern part of Mexico, my owl was part of the drug cartels. My owl had a son that was in his mid-30s. One night, my owl went to collect money for hunting down the big pig. My owl waited there for about 5 minutes before screaming into the hallway. Then my owl saw a resident they recognized. At first, this made my owl feel better, but soon, my owl realized that it was a refrigerator who had died 3 days prior in a unit near the kitchen. Suddenly, my owl heard a voice in their ear. They turned around, but no one was there. They went into the hallway, but still saw nothing. As my owl returned to collect his money, it happened again. The second time, my owl realized it was the voice of their great-grand owl who passed away 70,000 years ago. That night, my owl decided to stop for the night. 30 minutes later, my owl's friend finally arrived with his money. After when my owl got his money, my owl ran back to his house to fall asleep. When my owl woke up, my owl went outside and saw something moving in the small patch of trees in their backyard. When my owl went to investigate, he found nothing. On his way back inside, something threw a satellite at him over 5 feet into the air. My owl ran inside, losing a shoe in the process. After cowering inside for a few minutes, my owl realized he needed that shoe for work the next day. So, he ventured back outdoors. This time my owl came prepared. My owl brought their tiger with him for protection, but the tiger refused to follow my owl into the backyard. Quickly, my owl grabbed their shoe and ran back inside. Finally, back indoors, it was the middle of the night when someone was knocking on my owl's door. Woke me up. I thought it was my owl and his tiger who were just really high from smoking weed. I got up out of bed and ran out of the room. I flipped over and fell down the stairs to yell at them, but didn't see my owl. There was a tiger about the age of 120 that had a gold chain that hung around the tiger's neck. The tiger was also wearing a purple hoodie. When the tiger saw me, the tiger was just smiling at me, like a kid who got caught doing something he shouldn't have been. I watched as he slowly faded away. I was completely terrified until he was gone. I slept on the couch that night with the TV going in the background, and I threw my bed out the window after that. Around 4 in the morning, I woke again, sitting on top of the television. Suddenly, the door opened. My owl came home. My owl didn't acknowledge me. Not yet. My owl instead walked or moved in a certain way. I can't articulate it correctly. As if it was walking in circles slowly, without really walking. It held on to something. It was a whiskey bottle. My owl started to scream when I decided to knock on the door. I began knocking faster, and my owl said casually and cheerfully as he could to the door, "Hey, it's us. Open up." The deadbolt clicked, and the door automatically opened. It was the TV police. The TV police asked me if I had any idea who would want my TVs. I couldn't think of anyone. My owl kept asking if I had any aces, and I said goldfish. And that pissed off my owl, which my owl started to scream. When I closed the front door, the tiger was right there, looking at me again. I immediately didn't like the house. My owl's house was in a mountain town, and this mobile home was way up a steep mile-long driveway. Beautiful pine trees surrounded it, but the house itself looked abandoned and out of place. It had 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, 6 kitchens. So my owl's bedroom has a bathroom attached to his bathroom. It was a very nice home, with wood paneling and dated fixtures. My owl had told me earlier through email that he lived on X and Y Street. And he essentially told me that he lived in the middle of the street. I started to walk home with my whale. Since it was late. A 45-hour walk I had ahead of me. My owl stared at me through the front door while I was walking towards the front fence. And I left.